Hi, everybody. Oh, let me sit down. Well, we'll have to see where we're at. This is the next to the last one. We stopped at October 1st. We finished up with September. And so we finished up here in September. So now we're going to go from October 1st to mid-November. And I should have been doing this earlier, but I was stuck on one and I just didn't want to do it. And I ended up doing it today and it was fine. But anyway, so here's my first week in October. And loved doing these. I feel like I took a little more, just a little bit more time, and I didn't rush through it when I was doing them each time. I kind of felt like the last time they were a little more rushed, and it's supposed to be something that you just play and you just play, but I wanted them to also look nice. So so anyway, this is a doodle like Mark Chagall, and I don't know who Mark Chagall is, so I doodled like Jean Bainey. So I'm thinking this is probably what that was supposed to be, but this is what I got. And then this is books on a shelf. And that was fun because I am all about books. So that was a fun one. This is elephants, imaginary creatures, and those are fun. I'm not great with animals. So well, you know, in doodling is just not my strong suit anyway. But I love it, and I am better than I was, and I'm really seeing some improvement over this year, I think. Tiny planets. I made them very tiny, and I paid no attention to the actual sizes of each planet. I probably shouldn't confess that because many of you probably wouldn't know. And I did add some stickler glitter, so that was fun. I love that. I hope you can see it glitter. I probably should stand up and check on that. Doodle whatever pops into your mind. And so that's just what I doodled. It's just a doodle design. These are rakes, and yeah, what can you do with a rake? This is a telephone, and so they wanted me to draw more than one, but I only did one, so I crossed out the S. So I just did the one. And then this is where the buffalo roam, and I said the buffalo roam home on the range. Well, this is a home. That's a home on the range. And as you can see, it's all prairie and sky in the background. And that's kind of a dugout home, the kind that you build yourself and design yourself. And so there you go. And I had some stickers, and I was going through and just sticking stickers in here. And so there's a teepee and a piece of playground equipment, just for fun. Okay, so that's 8. 8 and 9. So this is 10 sugar skulls. Those were fun to do. I'm not a huge fan of sugar skulls, but they were really fun. And I did have to kind of improvise a little bit because The first ones I did weren't that fancy, but then I kind of looked it up because I try not to look up things to copy, but I kind of looked it up and I saw they were very intricate. So I went back and added some more fun designs. This here is put a little pop in your step and doodle all things school spirit. So there we go. Some pom-poms, a pennant, the number 1 finger, and a megaphone. So that was fun, and some music, because if there is ever anything with school spirit, it's the school band, the marching band on the field. Okay, 12 was a horse race. So there's my horse race, and that's the clear winner of the Derby and the Kentucky Derby. And that's fun. I used to live in Louisville, and Derby time is just out of this world when you live there. Angel versus devil. So there we go. We've got the fire. We've got the devil all in red with horns and a pitchfork and claws. And then we have the sweet angel in the clouds with her halo and her golden wings and pretty blushing face. So here we go. October 14th was just do what you want, and I drew an eye, and then later on I added the tears because we were just being our area is just so full of COVID. It's unbelievable. It's just a few tears for the for what we're all going through as we deal with this crisis. I don't hardly have any topical things in my year of doodling. I try to just keep it very neutral. Doodle a past day again. So I did Everything's Coming Up Roses from February 10th. So we'll go back and see what I did on February 10th. And that's the 11th. And those are my roses, February 10th. Everything's Coming Up Roses. And I was in Florida back then. It was 80 degrees. My goodness. And so that's how I'm doing my roses today. So I don't know if it's an improvement, but it's a different kind of a rose. And surprisingly, I had to go back and do that because I wasn't sure what I was going to pick. And I didn't realize I'd already done another bunch of roses. So that's coming up. As the crow flies, and the crow flies straight as an arrow. So I didn't draw a crow, I drew how they fly. They fly straight. When you say as the distance, it's 15 miles as the crow flies. It's not 15 miles by the way the roads go. It's 15 miles straight from one destination to another, like you had a ruler. So I thought an arrow was nice. The 17th, brooms. And I was a little more imaginative with my brooms than I was with my rakes. And I do love my black cats. I do love my cats. This one, bobbing for apples, because in October we are doing a lot of fallish things here. So bobbing for apples was a good one. And I have never been a fan of bobbing for apples. I don't like to get my face and hair wet, and I found it very hard to bob for apples, so it was not a favorite thing to do. Okay, October 19th, we had to draw crayons, so that's what I did. And everybody says crayon a little differently. When I was growing up, I called them color crayons. And now I say crayon. But my kids, I think in here, in this area, people all call them crayons. So I'm just wondering, how do you say crayon? Let me know in the comment. Candy corn was 20. And what I didn't know, and one thing I never knew this before, but the reason that they're called candy corn, because if you put them all together and build them up in a big circle, it looks like an ear of corn. So that's interesting. And so anyway, so that was fun to draw some candy corn. I had to do black and orange. So I did a pumpkin at night out in the field. So that's the dirt field and some of the pumpkin and some stars at night. And here again, doodle what's here, and I started to doodle New York like this, and I thought, I don't feel like doodling New York, I'll do a flower. So I did a flower, and then I did another one, and another one, and I ended up with a bouquet of flowers. So as you can see, a bouquet of flowers is one of my favorite things to draw. October 23rd, doodle with triangles. So I made bunting. That was fun. Bunting with all different designs and just fun. And I'm going to make some bunting with fabric for my journal. I think maybe some Christmas bunting. So I'm kind of anxious to do that. Superstitions. One of the silliest superstitions, I think, are black cat crossing your path means trouble. So I drew this friendly looking black cat. Now I've always had black cats. Not always. I mean, we've had a couple of black cats and that lived with us for years and years and years and years each. So it seems like that we've had a lot of black cats, and I love black cats. And I think that's a silly superstition. Lines of doodles. So that's what I did for lines of doodles. Didn't even color it or didn't embellish it in any way. It's just lines of doodles. Here, haunted, and there's a lighthouse and some ghosts, and it's nighttime, and it's all spooky. October 26th. That's actually my sister's birthday. October 27th, we had this design right here. And we were supposed to doodle around that design. So that's what I came up with. 28th, we were supposed to do maple leaves. And I did one maple leaf. Fly me to the moon, and there's my moon. And a fun little moon it is. It looks like the moon has a backwards beard. Well, it has a little bit of a beard, and that's his hair. Again, since I didn't go ahead in the book and look ahead to see what we were to do, I didn't realize when I did the black and orange pumpkin that ahead we had a jack-o'-lantern to do, which a jack-o'-lantern is different than a pumpkin because a jack-o'-lantern has a face. So I did add a little more vining and so forth. You can see the light where it's been cut, and the flame inside is clearly visible. And when I cut the triangle eyes, I always like to leave eyeballs. Bewitched for Halloween, and I had fun with her because I always think drawing a witch is very fun. So that was Halloween. And then this was November, and I used this, which I have also used this same picture for the cover of my November journal, which I finished up today, and I will be showing you next video. But the first thing we had to do is Chinese food, and I thought, what better thing to do than fortune cookies? So I've got fortune cookies here, and some fortunes. Don't worry. A dubious friend may be an enemy in camouflage. A fresh start will put you on your way. Your road to glory will be rocky. And patience. And that's where I broke open the fortune cookie. And here you can't see the fortune inside those cookies. These are ones that I've already done. But just because we're doing fortune cookies, while I'm here, let's do a fortune. And here's the fortune cookie tabs, and I'm just going to pick one. I have no idea which one it is. And today is an even numbered day because it's the 30th. So even number is blue, odd number is yellow. So if you're watching this on an even numbered day like today, this is your fortune. Your library has a treasure for you. That is, if your libraries are open. These were written way before COVID. And if you're looking at this on the 1st or any other odd number day, this is your fortune. Start a collection today. It will last a lifetime. So, yay for fortunes. And I love fortunes. And I love fortune cookies. And I like doing that. This one here, 2 is foods that start with a T. So I have a turkey. I mean, you can see what they are. A turkey, a tea bag, a tuna, and a tomato. So that was fun. That was fun. I didn't draw my turkey, you can see. And it does say in the beginning of the book to use any kind of things, to use collage and that sort of thing, but I don't do it very often. November 3rd, Election Day, so I did the flag. I was very patriotic that day. The 4th, every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from an autumn tree, Emily Bronte. So this was just a day to do whatever you wanted. They had these here, and I outlined them and added branching and a quote. Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from an autumn tree. So, and that's very true. 5, art resides in the quality of doing. Process is not magic. I don't really know what they wanted. What did they want me to do that? So what I did is I took some fresh leaves, and what I was trying to do, these ones here, I inked them up, and then I pressed them down in between 2 layers of paper and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. And this is what I got. I got that kind of a leaf and this kind of a leaf. And I really liked that process. That was a lot of fun to do. And I've been meaning to do it because I also found several other interesting ways to capture a leaf on a page. So I was all about leaves. There's leaves here, and then this one, most favorite thing of the season, I think the color, fall leaves and the colors. So that was November 6th. November 7th, doodle using the colors of autumn. So there you go, just a little doodling, and those are the colors of autumn. Sunflowers was number 8, so I did sunflowers, and that was fun to do. I really enjoyed it. I probably could have put a blue sky behind because sunflowers are so tall, you're always seeing the sky behind them. So I may go back and add some blue sky behind those sunflowers, because I think that would be very pretty on that page. 9, mandalas. I do not draw mandalas. I've never drawn mandalas, and truthfully, the repetition would drive me crazy. but I really see how wonderful they are and how intricate. And just drawing that one gave me a new appreciation for that. So that was very fun. And as you can see, I was not very uniform, but I did have fun with that. And that is my very first mandala that I've ever drawn, I think. And then this one just had a quote: "Not all those who wander are lost." So so I didn't really know what to doodle, and my heart said, I started with some eyes, and it grew and grew, and this was some nice hair and a little Grecian braiding across there, and then I added some glasses in red because my glasses are red, and I brought it up to where this made it look like a crown. She's wearing a crown, so the whole page ended up being all one doodle. So there you go. That was kind of fun. And she has a little bit of a worried look, and so I think she is one who is lost, wandering. Not all people who wander are lost, but I think this one is. Okay, this was the one that hung me up, and I did it today, and I should have done it a long time ago. But you know what? I don't work with a lot of plain. I don't work with plain paper. I don't know why. It was just like a mental block. So I ended up painting some paper with watercolor in plain colors. It said, "Think solid abstract figures and bold colors. Doodle with scissors by cutting out shapes." So I cut out some shapes, and then I put them together in a design. And then, of course, I had to make a scrap person from one of my scraps. And I could have done one over here, but I just, that's one of the scraps, and that's my scrap person from that. First aid, I did a bandage, yeah, some bottle of pills, those silly scissors that have that bend in them that you cut bandages off with, and of course the Red Cross. And it's funny because I ordered some stickers that were like first aid stickers, and they were the most horrible stickers ever. They're in the other room. I should have brought them in. This one I'm feeling, and this was the 13th, and I'm thinking it was Friday the 13th. Was November 13th Friday the 13th? But anyway, I was feeling like, like I could explode. I was just like, stir crazy or something. So there's a balloon, and it, boom, blew up. But I didn't blow up. But I felt, I felt like I could explode. I was just like, I need to do something or go somewhere or do something. Foods that start with the letter P on the 14th, and they were peas, pineapple, and pickles. And that, my friends, is the second to the last 6 weeks of my book. And I started out really well. I ended up kind of like I normally do. But that's, this is a book for me and how I do things. So anyway, because it's got to be fun. And at that time it was more fun to do something very neat and careful. And at this time it was more fun to do something a little more slapdash and a little more my style. So we only have one more episode in this book. There's only 6 weeks left of the, 4 weeks now, but only one more 6-week session left. But before I leave you, I wanted to show you my Christmas tree and some of the decorations and some of the way I decorated it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and show you my Christmas tree. For the first couple years that I've had this tree, this is my 3rd year with this tree, I just used lights. And as a matter of fact, on my Christmas tree, since my husband passed away, I have just used lights. Just a tree and lights. That's all I wanted. But for some reason this year, I felt compelled to add some decorations. So I just grabbed what I had around the house on the day that I was putting it up and decided I liked it. I was happy with what I had, and I've always loved this tree. This tree has been the best. It's got 3 different kinds of trees in one. It's like a hybrid tree. And of course I love snowmen, and so I have added a couple snowmen, and but mostly it's just flowers and decorations and lights. And it is kind of plain. There's a little Santa. You see his little face there? His little button nose? He could almost be a gnome. But he's not a gnome. He's a Santa. And I've always liked a flocked tree from when I was a kid, and my parents would never buy one. They always bought a real tree, but they didn't like all the spray snow on it. Well, I love the spray snow. So I'm just thrilled with this, with my tree this year, and I'm thrilled with all the lights. I'm not a person who is good about hiding all the strings and everything, but I did want to show you kind of what my tree looks like this year. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.